My name is Rachel Hendricks, and I'm the Bethesda Christian School Communication Specialist. Thank you so much for taking time to watch this video. I know if you're a part of the Bethesda community, you've probably heard Christ-centered education. And over the next few videos, you'll get more of a sense of what that means, not only as a whole, but with each characteristic. So in the video you're about to watch, I sit down with head of school Jason Myers and school counselor Sarah Campbell, and they talk about an overview of Christ-centered education. We'll also be sitting down with Sarah and Jason individually and unpacking each characteristic, as well as sitting down with Bethesda family members and seeing how that's already being exemplified throughout the Bethesda community. And again, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to understand what it means to have a Christ-centered education. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm sitting here with Jason Myers, head of school, and Sarah Campbell, school counselor, and we're going to talk a little bit more about Christ-centered education and what that looks like. Over the next few videos, we're going to unpack each characteristic, but right now, Jason, if you'll kind of unpack what Christ-centered education looks like as a whole.
Sure. This infographic that we've put together to display Christ-centered education at Bethesda Christian School is really meant to capture that partnership that we have with our families, the school, and the community at large. Really, we need to unpack them in a way that will help you see them, the interworkings that they have together, because we can't necessarily just see them in isolation one by one. We need to be able to see how they fit together with each working together. And you'll notice that on the rings around the outsides of them, there are the subject matter that we teach at school, and then those soft skills that we want to develop within kids. But we can't develop those if we don't have the foundation in place. And so this is laying that foundation that we have in partnership with the families and with the students together with our school.
That's perfect. Sarah, I know that we're unpacking this as a whole, but as far as like our students and how we're disseminating this information to them, can you tell us a little bit more about what you're doing specifically?
Absolutely. With the Christ-centered education infographic, it deals a lot with the whole student and their emotional well-being, their spiritual well-being, and academic, and that really goes into our Bethesda distinctives. And so whenever I am sitting down with a student or I'm doing a guidance session as a group, that's really what I'm trying to focus on, is building up their emotional well-being and their spiritual well-being so that when they go into the academic classroom, they really are nurtured as a whole student so that they are prepared for life and ministry, and they're prepared for however God is going to use them.
That's awesome. I know that it's important to look at them as a whole, but is there one characteristic that is important to understand before unpacking all the rest of them?
We definitely need to start with we are created. If we don't start there, all of the other areas of this fall down and really turn into ourselves in our humanity. So starting with that we are created allows us the foundation of understanding that we are in the image of God, and because of that, every other area is able to come in line and come in view with that focus.
We are actually, throughout the entire school year, presenting this in our chapel with students, where we are showing who God is and how we can reflect that in our own lives. That way, whenever we think of Christ-centered education, it really is being focused on the character of God, the character of Jesus that we can reflect in our lives. So students are going to see this all throughout chapel services that are presented by faculty and are also being presented by student body.
Thank you both so much for joining us. I'm really excited for our Bethesda community to, as these videos roll out, to understand what Christ-centered education looks like as a whole, but also each vignette. If you're not already following us on Instagram or Facebook, be sure to do that so you're not missing any of the videos that we're going to be pushing out. Thank you.